Hello, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Whitney, and today is a very special day on the podcast and in our business. First off, this is episode 99. How wild is that? We have recorded nearly 100 episodes. Honestly, I cannot believe where the time has gone. I do not know where it's gone. I still remember how it all started. I was in Japan. I remember working from Japan. It was December. It was cold. It was hard working from Asia. But I had been thinking about all these different things, the end of the year, especially thinking about what do I want to do for the next year, and was talking with my team about finally starting this podcast. I had been wanting to start the podcast for 2 years, and I was sitting on it. But with the support of my team, I decided to take the leap and launch it. And yeah, I had been sitting on the idea for a long time. I had wanted to share my ideas and teach people more and reach more practitioners. But I wanted to make sure that it was the right time and that I really felt ready and had the support in place to also make it happen. I think if I had tried to launch it any earlier, it just would have been a nightmare for me because there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to publish a podcast. But what finally made me do it, aside from having the team to support me in it, was that I had gotten off of a coaching call within our website program and realized how invigorating it was to be teaching and talking. And I just hadn't been doing enough of that in my business. And I realized, okay, even just talking and teaching gets me so much more excited, more motivated, more positive and confident about what I'm putting out there into the world. So I was like, okay, this is going to benefit me. It's also, of course, going to benefit my audience and practitioners, dietitians, and health practitioners out there. It was time. So we launched the podcast in March. So Brianna on my team was responsible for helping me get it off the ground. And now Priscilla on my team is the one who helps me keep it going. And Brianna had advised that I pre-record a bunch of episodes to get started so that we had some good momentum. We actually had a few episodes launched before we went live, or more, we had 3 episodes, we dropped them right away, as opposed to, okay, we're going to release 1 episode this week and then 1 the next week and 1 the next week. That's our cadence now, although more on that in a second. But so I spent a lot of time. So I had made the decision around December, January, and then spent time putting together the topics, putting together the pre-recorded kind of runway. And then we launched it March 18th, 2024. That was our first episode. The first episode was how to pick a website platform. Yeah, just walk down memory lane of, man, it's been 100 episodes, not 500. It's been 100. We'll see if we get to 500. But I do have a few other stats just to share with you about the podcast and how far we've come in these past 2-ish years. So we've had 13,000 plus downloads of the various podcast episodes. So that is pretty amazing. It's primarily listened to on Apple Podcasts on mobile. So that's where most of our listeners are listening. The average episode length is about 39 minutes. When I started, I did want to keep the episodes pretty short and snappy. I don't know that I fully achieved that. But for the next month, I'll share in a moment, but I have some plans for the next month to be releasing a lot more bite-sized content for you. So we'll see if you like that. I will admit I am not a consistent podcast listener, but I really just cannot commit to a 2-hour-long podcast episode. I do feel like 39 minutes is that sweet spot, honestly. So I'm glad that has worked out in the numbers. Sometimes it's just hard for me to feel like I can get all my points across in a 30-minute episode. And then when I'm interviewing someone so many times, we're just talking about such great stuff and I'm keeping an eye on the clock. And I'm like, but I want to keep going. I have more questions. I think there's more that the audience will really want to hear. And it's always a balance, right? So the top 3 countries of listeners are the United States first, then Canada, and then Australia. We are in the top 10% of podcasts worldwide out of 3.7 million shows. There's a lot of podcasts out there. We are in the top 10%. We are aiming and hoping to get, I think Priscilla is looking at the stats and has told me, I think we want to try and get into the top 3%. Honestly, a lot of these things, I'm whatever we're doing is great. I would love to have more listeners. And of course, being in that top percentage means that you have more listeners and more people tuning in, because I do put so much energy into these episodes. Our guests give so much energy and time and knowledge and expertise. And we are putting a lot of time each week into publishing the episodes and making sure that they're coming out really professionally and all of that. So of course, I would love for our podcast to reach more people. So that is something that we're looking at for the coming year. Our ratings, we have a 4.9 stars on Apple Podcasts and a 5 stars on Spotify. So if you have not rated or left a review yet, I think you can leave reviews on Spotify now too, but I know for sure you can leave reviews on Apple Podcasts. That would mean the world to me. Right now we have 11 ratings. It would be wonderful to have more. And of course, if there's anything, I'll get to how you can talk to me and all of that in a moment. But if there's anything that you want to hear more of, see more of, want me to go deeper, I'm all ears. So I love a good rating, but if you feel that there's room for improvement, tell me. I am an open book. I want to know this is for you. This podcast is literally for you. So I want to make sure that it's valuable. And I really appreciate you giving me your time and listening, because, our time is valuable. Final little stat recap. Our most popular episodes so far in the 100 or nearly 100 episodes we've had. Episode 40, Profitable Productivity with Donna Dubé. Y'all like that one very much. Episode 45, The Role of a Great Website in Building a Wellness Business with one of our clients, Angela. So if you have not checked out either of those episodes, do. And then finally, episode 4. So way, way back. 3 Steps to a Better Lead Magnet. So that also was very popular with all of you. So check those out if you haven't already. And honestly, the podcast is just going to keep better. I am not slowing down. And actually, we are speeding up. In these next few weeks, we are going to kick into overdrive. And I'm going to be releasing episodes nearly every day, business day, for the next 4 weeks. They are all going to be bite-sized. I'm aiming for 10 minutes or less. And they're going to build on each other. So you can run through them all while making dinner, just binge like 3 of them, because it takes me like 2 hours to make dinner. Or catch a quick one after school pickup. While you're picking up the kids, you just have a few minutes to pick something up quickly, listen to it then, and then stay tuned for tomorrow. So I will be dropping another episode tomorrow, which will be one of these bite-sized episodes, going to be all about marketing. I think you're really going to get a lot out of it and helping you really sort through the overwhelm that comes with marketing your practice. And that is going to be a mini 3-episode series that is going to be releasing throughout the week. So I'm excited for that. And that brings me to my big announcement for this episode. And for me, this is a really, really huge announcement, actually. So we are launching a Facebook group. I'm so excited. It's our free Facebook group community. I'm excited about it because honestly, I've been wanting to do this for a while. This is another one of those things that I have talked with my team about, talked with my husband about. He thinks I should have a community. I definitely love connecting with other practitioners and all of that, but also just from an energy standpoint and systems and support standpoint, I really just hadn't felt ready for the past couple years to do it. But I feel ready now, so we're doing it. And now with the podcast too, I feel like I've been putting out all this content and I really want to engage in some conversation around it. I really want there to be a place where we can hang out and talk about what's being covered on the podcast, talk about anything else that's going on, have members of my community talk to each other and connect. So the name of the group, little drum roll, Websites and Marketing for Dietitians and Health Professionals. So we're going very literal with the name here. That is what you get. We are talking websites and marketing for the dietitian, nutrition, health, mental health space. Okay. So this group is meant to stand alone as well. You can come by anytime you want, but it is also going to be a companion to this podcast. So for right now, for the next couple of weeks, the episodes will be coming out multiple times a week. And this is where this Facebook group is now where we are going to go to keep the conversation going and talk about what's being covered and have some good discussion questions as well to go deeper. So this is going to be a space specifically for dietitians, therapists, health practitioners, whether you are advanced in your business and you are a practitioner owning a group practice, or you're an online business owner. Also, if you are a student or an RD to be, or you are going back for a degree, this is your second career and you want to come in there, more the merrier. Please come and join. But this is a space where we are going to be talking marketing and websites. And I know there are a ton of Facebook groups out there. I know definitely a lot of dietitian focused Facebook groups, but this one is focused on this specific stuff: your website, your marketing, growing your practice online. So I'm going to keep it casual. I want to be really clear though that this is not a program. It's not a place where you're going to get like personalized marketing plans from me, or daily accountability and all of that. That's not what this is. That's actually something I will be launching later this quarter. Spoiler alert, some version of that. But what this place is a place to hang out with your peers, place to share what you're working on, what's going well, what's frustrating when it comes to marketing and your website, and how to work through that together in a safe spot. It's a place to ask questions about the topics that we are covering on the podcast. And it's a place to celebrate wins. I finally launched my new services page. Check it out. Or my calendar is finally full with clients, and now I'm looking at hiring a second practitioner. Like, that's just such inspirational stuff. And I think that some of these wins that we may think are small are actually quite large, and they are what keeps us going in business. And so I think when we can share those wins and talk about them and talk about what we did to get to that next stage and that next step, whatever it is, the more we can share that in just more this comfortable, not polished social media kind of way, I think it's really important to do that. So really, it's just a virtual hangout for people who are doing the same work that you're doing, and let's all work on it together. And like I said, I have been wanting to put together a community like this for a while. Now I am really ready to do it, because we also are doing this big release of a lot of teaching and a lot of content to really kick off 2026. I know January is gone. I can't believe where it went. Now February got our bearings, and I have a lot of stuff to be sharing with you. And so it just felt like the right time to have this additional virtual space for all of us to collect and assemble and talk and congregate. And I do have a training coming up as well soon at the beginning of March. I'll be sharing more about that in a few weeks, but that is also going to be a place where we can be chatting about that training and just helping you work through how you're moving forward in your business with your marketing and with your website. I would love to have you inside of the group. So just go to the link in the show notes, or you can search for websites and marketing for dietitians and health professionals on Facebook and find the group and just request to join. We have just a few very simple questions to get you in there. You don't have to prove that you're a certain kind of professional or anything like that. We're going to go on honor system there, and we're going to keep it respectful and casual, and really a place for you to connect with other peers and learn from one another. And also, like I said, continue this conversation after the podcast episodes come out too. So once you get in there, I would love for you to introduce yourself in the welcome post and share a little bit about who you are and what you're working on. Check out what's already happening. We're going to have some conversations going in there. Jump into any conversations that interest you, and just use it as a space to be interacting and engaging a bit more around this topic of what you're doing for marketing and business growth and your website. And we'll be guiding a lot of that conversation. And we do have a brand new training coming soon. Like I mentioned, this group is going to be where we're hanging out before the training, after the training. So if you want to be in the loop about that as well, and make sure that you're part of the conversation that goes even deeper, then get into the group right now. It's free, it's casual, and honestly, I just think you're really going to like being in there and hanging out with me. I hope you do. So definitely come in, join, come say hi. I would love to connect with you. And I hope you really find this group to be this missing piece for what you need to start having more clarity, more more community around the stuff that you're working on this year in your business. All right, so that's it for today. If you are not already subscribed to the podcast, make sure that you also do that because we will be releasing these new episodes multiple times a week this month. So I want to make sure that you get notified every time one of those new episodes drops. They're going to be really good. And I will see you in the Facebook group, and make sure you come back to the podcast tomorrow where we are going to talk about our first topic of this mini marketing series, why your marketing feels so scattered and how your website fixes it. So it's a good one. Come back for more, and I'll see you in the Facebook group.